go ahead and get started. We appreciate y'all being here for Tuesday, April 14th meeting for Capital Projects and Bond Oversight Committee. We're going to do things a little different today, so just kind of bear with us. But we can still do this the right way, and let's have Madam Secretary please call roll.
Senator Carroll, Senator Girdler, Senator McDaniel, Senator Mills, Representative Pratt, Representative Rudy, Representative Sorolas, Representative Thomas Persadi.
Here. All righty. Now, if you flip a tab, we have the minutes in your second. If there's no questions or changes or anything like that, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Motion by Senator McDaniel. And we have a second. Second by Senator Girdler. All in favor signify by aye. Aye. All opposed? All right, minutes pass. So we will pass the next two items. Actually, Ms. Catherine is going to report. Oh, wait, before we get to that, I do want to let everybody out there watching, or if you're not, well, I guess you got to be watching to find out this. We are broadcasting live on YouTube, and it's Kentucky LRC Committee meetings. And we do want to thank, this is our internal LRC staff, Mark Pullum, for doing this today, and we're glad you're doing that, and we're conducting the meeting, so we appreciate what you do. So now we'll move to item number 3, and Ms. Catherine.
Pursuant to KRS 26A168 sub 1, KRS 45793, and KRS 45818, the Administrative Office of the Courts, the Finance and Administration Cabinet with the Commonwealth Office of Technology reporting independently, and post-secondary institutions managing their own capital construction under KRS 164A580 transmitted quarterly capital projects reports. Pursuant to KRS 45760 sub 5, UK reported 3 restricted funds equipment purchases for Chandler Hospital totaling over $2.3 million, a surgical imaging device, CT scanner, and hematology analyzer. Pursuant to KRS 45812 sub 1, 4 school districts reported upcoming bond issues for new projects. None of the school districts needed to levy an additional tax to support the debt service. Pursuant to KRS 5686311, the Office of Financial Management transmitted the Kentucky Asset Liability Commission semi-annual report. For agenda item number 4, the Finance and Administration Cabinet, through the Office of State Budget Director, reported pool allocations for 2 tourism, arts, and heritage cabinet projects. The first is a wetland and stream mitigation project using fees in lieu of restricted funds. The $6.3 million will restore and protect 30,000 linear feet of Blue Spring Creek and its tributaries. The second is a parks project using $1.5 million or $1.05 million from 2 bond-funded maintenance pools authorized in House Bills 200 and 268.
All right, thank you. We do have a question by Senator McDaniel.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I understand that these may have to be answered in the future, but in the quarterly capital project report, there is an item in the Secretary of State's office, $1.5 million for the enhanced statewide election administration and online ballot delivery system. This committee authorized that in October of 2013. I'm thinking that went with the Secretary of State's military voting initiative, but I'm not certain, and I wanted to know, I mean, clearly this has been out there for pushing 7 years at this point and still isn't finished, so I was kind of wondering if there was any kind of an update on that.
That is something that is being monitored by COT. I think they had queries in. If I remember rightly, it was a reallocation perhaps to a different project, and I'll verify that, though. But it is something.
If you would, and if we could get them, whenever we get back to our regular having people in here, I'd like to hear a little bit more about that one, please. And then down on D, the semi-annual report of the Asset Liability Corporation, we have got authorized debt, authorized but unexpended debt to the tune of $1.1 billion, going back as far as 2010, $413 million of which is general fund. How is that actually booked on the balance sheet or accounted for in the budget? Do you know that off the top of your head, or will you get budget staff to answer that?
It's included in the debt ratios or the internal OSBD's internal calculations. Authorized but unissued debt is included there. And then in terms of investors, the amount of authorized but unissued debt is included in the official statements. So, but it's not booked anywhere. It's factored into the 6% internal rule of thumb ratio, and then the amount of authorized but unissued debt is included in the official statements for our debt issues.
Is it included in each agency's base?
It's not, it's included in finance's base. Basically, it's included in the agency's base once the budget is authorized for the first biennium, and then everything is moved to the finance cabinet in subsequent biennium.
So when we have unissued debt like this, like $413 million worth of unissued general fund debt, obviously there's debt service affiliated with that. Are we giving finance money for debt service that is not actually being utilized on those bonds as part of their base?
Essentially, when finance submits their budget, they include in the debt service what they realistically believe to be issued within the upcoming biennium.
So even though this is technically authorized, they may or may not be asking for an appropriation based on it.
Exactly. They consult with the Office of State Budget Director in terms of what their debt service needs are for the upcoming, and then it's included in the debt service for finance.
So, and one more, Mr. Chair, if I may, just as we look at things during the interim, I'd like to take a look at, like I said, I mean, we've got $27 million authorized in 2010, but not issued yet. And I don't think there's anybody on this committee that was here in 2010. And so, and then 9 from 12, 44 from 14, et cetera. I'd like to get a breakout of what it is that we authorized but didn't spend, and then what has finance actually requested in their budget, just for the interim, so we can take a look. And we'll be revisiting the budget again next year. So that'd be some good information heading that way. Thank you for the indulgence, Mr. Chairman. Thanks, Catherine. Appreciate you.
Thank you, Senator. Yeah, great questions. All righty. Are there any others? All right. If not, there was no action required on those, but we will move to action item number 5, project report from Western Kentucky University. Now, we don't have testimony, but everyone has sent it in. So we all have it in the packet. I believe everybody out there watching, it is actually posted on the website so they can access it also. And what I thought I'd do is actually jump into the letter that Jennifer sent us, and I'm only going to read the middle body of it if you don't mind me doing that. And that way we can keep everybody watching on video informed also. So to do so, it is Western Kentucky University is requesting authorization to reconfigure 3 classrooms into 2 classrooms for our nursing program. Western Kentucky University's nursing program has continued to expand, which has caused a capacity issue in the current classrooms. The nursing class is having to divide students between 2 classrooms, with half the students in the actual lecture and the rest in an adjoining room watching the lecture via electronic media. This has created an unwanted learning environment and requires additional staffing to meet accreditation requirements. This project is expected to cost no more than $1.5 million and will be completed using academic affairs carry-forward funds. This project has been approved by the Western Kentucky State University Board of Regents, the Council on Post-Secondary Education Finance Committee, and is included in the 2020-21 Executive Branch budget recently passed by the General Assembly. So if there's any questions, they should have already been submitted because we don't have anyone here to answer them really as much. But we'll just move for Madam Secretary, if that's okay. Please call roll.
We have a motion to approve in a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Motion.
Motion and a second. Thank you for keeping me straight there. Now please call roll.
Senator Carroll. Senator Girdler. Senator McDaniel.
Aye.
Senator Mills. Representative Pratt. Representative Rudy. Representative Sorolles. Chairman Thomas.
Aye. All right, motion does pass. Okay. All right, and this next one, we're gonna move into item number 6. And let's see here, Scott Aubrey submitted this, and this is the lease report. And I'm just gonna read the middle body again, just for the public's information. And this comes from Scott Aubrey. It says, "Today I'm reporting on a lease modification for the Transportation Cabinet in Warren County. Prior to this modification, the Transportation Cabinet, by and through the Finance and Administration Cabinet, entered into a lease agreement in March of 2019 at their current location. The owner spent approximately $120,000 on improvements to the 1,726 square feet of space in order to meet their needs. The lease is being modified to accommodate additional staff in order to meet the Federal Real ID Act requirements. There is no additional vacant space adjacent to their current space. However, the owner offered alternative space in the current facility to which they could relocate their existing office. The owner is estimating the fit-up of this space to be approximately $200,000. The new suite is 3,852 square feet and costs $21.37 per square foot for a total annual cost of $82,317.24 with a new expiration date of June 20th, 2027. So wanted to report on that. I will entertain a motion and a second to approve that. Motion by Senator Girdler. Do we have a second? A second by Representative Pratt. Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Senator Carroll, Senator Girdler, Senator McDaniel,
Cast my vote and explain, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to cast a no vote, Mr. Chairman. This is reflective of a change in the way that we're issuing IDs, and we're incurring additional cost at transportation. In my estimation, there should be an offset elsewhere across the Commonwealth's expenditures, and absent that, I won't vote for this, so I'm going to cast a no vote. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Senator Mills, Representative Pratt, Representative Rudy, Representative Sorolis, Chairman Thomas.
Yes. All right. That did not pass. We have to have at least 4 or 5, don't we? I have to have all 5. All righty. Well, we will notify, and we will move on to number 7, the Office of Financial Management. This is what I'm going to do is there are actually 3 of those, so I'll entertain a motion to maybe roll those together. Oh, is there 4? I'm sorry. There is 4, A, 1 through 3, so I'm assuming the motion was to roll all 4 then, so, and we had a second. All in favor signify by aye, and all opposed. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just catch the first sentence on this, mainly for the public out there. The first one is the City of Smithland and Livingston County is requesting a planning and design loan from Fund A in the amount of $246,000. And item B, the Paducah-McCracken County Joint Sewer Agency in McCracken County is requesting a loan from Fund A in the amount of $5,170,000. And the next one is the City of Flemingsburg in Fleming County is requesting a Fund B loan in the amount of $77,405. And item A in Fund F is the City of Lebanon, FBO, Lebanon Water Works Company Incorporated in Marion County is requesting a Fund F loan in the amount of $5,238,230. And then KYA is funding 100% of the total project cost on that one. So is there any questions? Most of them would be submitted, but it's not too late. In case, we could probably get information later, but we are going to have to vote on this item. We okay? All righty, Madam Secretary, please call roll. We need a motion. I'm sorry. Do we have a second? Second by Senator McDaniel. All right, now, Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Senator Carroll, Senator Girdler, Senator McDaniel,
I'd like to explain one more time, Mr. Chairman. And this time I'm going to explain an aye vote. And I want to focus on the City of Lebanon one here. And I want to just briefly explain the wisdom of my predecessor in the appropriations role, Bob Leeper, and President Stivers, and some actions they took to do the bourbon barrel tax credit many, many years ago, I guess 7 or 8 years ago now. In the ripples that those folks have in the industry, because when you look at this, there's going to be a Diego distillery coming in, and the city currently has $3.23 million in water revenue. It's going to increase $700,000 with that one business coming to town. That's not insignificant at all. And the ripples of these different things are just tremendous. And so while I cast an aye vote, I wanted to praise them as well for their foresight and to understand you don't always know where all the positive benefits are going to land, but this particular agency is going to feel one as well. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for the insights a little bit. Those are things that, because of your length of sitting on this committee and your chairmanship of A&R there, that you are very knowledgeable on all this. We appreciate that. That was an aye vote, and keep continuing, ma'am.
thank you. Senator Mills,
Explain my aye vote. Really, this is just a compliment. The city of Smithland is in my district, and they've been plagued by water and sewer issues for years, and I just want to compliment them on putting together a project and addressing the issues there in that small rural community.
Representative Pratt, Representative Rudy, Representative Sorolas, Chairman Thomas.
Aye. All righty. Next item we have is we were supposed to have a live report by Ryan Barrow. Any luck? Do we? Okay. I tell you what. Let's see, because that even item number C he's reporting on, so we'll have to defer, won't we? Okay. Well, we will have to defer that one without having testimony today. So we will put that on the agenda for next month, and that will take us, that was item 7B and 7C. So that moves us straight to item number 8, and we do want to report that we will have some form of meeting again on May 19th, and Senator Girdler gets to take this one, and we will try to stay with our regular schedule. Remember, that was the one that was moved for election, but of course elections got moved, so we're back to the same days. So is there any other business to come in front of the committee? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All right, thank y'all.